We note that.
Speak up.
Okay.
I can't hear you.
Oh, okay. Hello? Okay. So, so these teachings that we have reviewed so far is extremely important. Now, the first of all these, these teachings is the meditation on the preciousness of the human birth. Here we are not just talking about the preciousness of human birth. We are talking about such a birth, such a human birth, which is complete with eight leisures and 10 endowments, right? Now, again, in that, in this, the topic on the precious human birth, which is complete with 8 freedoms and 10 endowments, they are primarily has 3 main topic, right? These are the identifying the 8 leisures and identifying the 10 endowments. This is the first. The number second is the valuable of this kind of birth, human birth. The third one is the difficulty in obtaining such a kind of birth. Yeah, such a kind of birth. Now, sometimes, we may wonder, we want to do some kind of practice, say, any kind of practice, we want to do some kind of maybe meditation on single pointed meditation, or we want to do some meditation on emptiness, or we want to do some meditation in love, the compassion, altruistic mind, bodhicitta, bodhidharma. We want to do some daily practice, whatever kind of practice we do, is all amazing. But what really, to make this, practice something effective, which something helps us to move our heart, to give all the, the practice some kind of flavor or some kind of, experiential, to cultivate some deeper experience, to make this happen, it becomes very important to touch at the fundamental topic. That is, the identification, right? Identification of the 8 leisures. Otherwise, sometimes we may feel, when we try to identify the 8 leisures, then we will feel we are not taking, we are not taking the birth in the, the hell, in the hungry ghost, in the Holy Ghost, in the animal, in the long life deity, long life gods and goddesses, being not born in a remote area, being born as a barbarian, born with incomplete senses and bodiless, bodily parts or incomplete senses, and also holding the wrong view. We identify all this as it. But then it has to do with us. So that sometimes becomes very important. What it has to do with us, if we understand, if we do know that we are freed from all these 8, states, what it has to do with us. Now, just if you try to begin with, we say, I'm not being born as I'm not being born as, I'm not born in hell. I'm not born as an animal. I'm not born as a kind of, a hungry ghost. But what it has to do with me? That's very important to understand. In this way, then our, whatever practice we do become effective. Something, really does make sense. We feel it. We feel in our heart, right? Rather than mere, identifying these states, right? Now, so these things has, many qualities. It really gives us the sense of joy. Just waking up early in the morning, just waking up the early in the morning, it gives us a sense of joy, the sense of rejoice that at least I'm a human being. I'm not born in hell. I'm not. I have all the complete sense. I'm holding the, a good view. I'm not holding any kind of wrong perverted view, wrong view. And I'm not born in a barbarian land. I'm not a barbarian person. So when we try to, see all these angles, there's the plenty of, things to rejoice ourselves, and the food, the breakfast, the lunch, even in a day-to-day life experience, the food that we do eat, the breakfast, the lunch, the dinner, the clothes that we wear, all this becomes a sense of, appreciation, sense of joy. If we were to born in a hell, hungry ghost, animal, these facilities are out of reach, right? Now say, so therefore, when you try to identify, I'm not being born in a hell, I'm not being born in a hungry ghost, I'm not being born in an animal realm. As we try to, understand this, first of all, it becomes very important that we visualize ourselves as a hungry ghost. We visualize ourselves as a hell being, hungry ghost, animal. But again, if we try to visualize ourselves as hell being, hungry ghost, or animal, what it has to do with me? Do I get benefit? Do something good things happen to me? Or, do I lose something? No. You get benefit. You get the maximum benefit. You are the one who is going to get the maximum benefit. We are the one to gain the maximum benefit. Because by visualizing ourselves as hungry ghost, for example, now hell, because it gives, by this kind of meditation really gives a lot of good, really gives you a lot of good qualities within us. The first good quality is that we begin to, develop the compassion. We begin to develop the compassion for others, especially those in the lower level, right? And we also begin to learn that we develop the sense of the practice of patience. Because normally, really what happens is we easily get, sad, we easily get angered by, provoked by very trivial issues, very minor issues, we get upset. By meditation on this, it gives you the sense of patience, the training in the patience, the practice of patience is improved, increase, right? We learn to develop the patience. And then number 3 is we also, we also develop the sense of, detachment. We also begin to learn the law of karma. The law of karma. Why? How? Because what are the causes for taking the birth in this unfavorable existence? Unfavorable realm is because of anger, attachment, and ignorance. If we do not want pain and suffering of the lower realm, we try to keep distance from this, because these, anger, destructive emotions, negative emotions are the main causes for taking rebirth in the lower realm. So once we take birth in the lower realm, then there's the pain and suffering, which we do not want. Everybody wants, happiness. Everybody wants peace. Happiness. Do not want even 1 minute suffering, pain, challenges. If that being the case, why do we create the causes for taking rebirth in the lower realm? So therefore, we try to keep distance from these negative emotions by guarding the law of karma, by observing the law of karma, by respecting the law of karma, sincerely practicing the law of karma, right? And then, right, so this is the meditation. If you try to meditate on the suffering of the low, the hell, it is not something empty. Sometimes now, one of the very important things that we want to discuss here is many of the people, they don't want to hear about the pain and suffering challenges. On the part of the teachers also do not want to cover this topic. Why? Because sometimes we have the kind of belief system, we have the notion that I have enough, pain and suffering. Thinking and reflecting on the suffering makes more discouraging, more unhappy, more upset. Why should I hear the word, the pain and suffering, the challenges, all these things, right? That is the thing. However, if you look if you look holistically, if you look realistically, if we look realistically, logically, reasonably, what we think that we should not listen to the pain and suffering is one-sided, only one-sided information, only one-sided, maybe some element of truth. But if you try to look from all the angles, it is more beneficial. It is more beneficial to think about the suffering of the lower limb than not thinking. If you don't think, there are more challenges, there are more suffering, more pain than not thinking. If you think, much of the problem is reduced. Much of the problem, I'm not talking about something which is related with the spiritual, things. In our one's day-to-day life, problem is reduced. Right. For example, right, Shantideva says, the great master Shantideva says, suffering has many good qualities. It dispels the arrogance. it helps you to cultivate the sense of renunciation for yourself and for other people. You are able to develop compassion. And then, you also become very learned. You also begin to learn, begin to understand, begin to practice the law of karma sincerely. Right? So therefore, there are many good qualities, but sometimes our mind, they believe that, these, listening, hearing about this, teaching about this pain and suffering, it brings me nothing. It brings more discouraging. It's discouraging me. It makes me unhappy. But that is, again, as I said, is one-parted information and is totally wrong. It's total wrong way of thinking. If we are we all believe in happiness. We all need love. Everybody needs love. Everybody wants happiness life. Nobody wants difficult life, challenging life. But then we can talk about, there's a kind of love called, affectionate love. Affectionate love. When we talk about this affectionate love, I'm not talking about, the normal love, I'm talking about the affectionate love, which includes one's own enemy, which includes entire living beings. Anyone who has the tendency to feel pain and pleasure, everyone is included in this affectionate love. And then we can also talk about cherishing love. Then we can also talk about wishing love. By cultivating love, this kind of love, by cultivating compassion, do we bring happiness? Do we achieve happiness? Do we feel happiness? That is the question. Do we feel happiness, the real happiness, something here, the sense of happiness? If we really bring happiness, then meditation on suffering makes sense. We can talk about liberation, even the liberation. We can talk about liberation. We can talk about enlightenment, Buddhahood. All the attainment of Buddhahood, the attainment of liberation is based on the understanding the suffering. So therefore, in order to achieve happiness, long-lasting happiness, temporary happiness, long-lasting happiness, understanding the suffering is important. And then understanding suffering and meditation suffering makes you more, stronger, make us more stronger. And then, right now, if we meditate on the suffering of the hungry ghost, what it has to do in our life, we may sometimes wonder what it has to do with in my day-to-day life, what it has to do with my practical life. When I meditate on the suffering of the hungry ghost, we may say, I don't feel anything. It has nothing to do with me, with my day-to-day life, waking up, going to work, and then, we can sleep. In my day-to-day life activity, it has nothing to do. Right? Again, we may feel like this. But again, by meditating on the suffering of the hungry ghost, we wake up early in the morning, we take a breakfast, we take a cup of tea, right, early in the morning, maybe water, maybe the cup of tea or coffee. After having gone through this kind of meditation, whatever tea that we drink, whatever coffee that we drink, it is immense pleasure, immense flavor. We may take a break. We may eat the break in the morning. Whatever break we eat, it's a full of flavor. We enjoy the delicious. In the breakfast, in the lunch, we eat the food, right? In the dinner, we also eat food. Each time we eat the food or we drink, all are flavor, tremendous flavor. Even if you eat the food without salt, it is tremendous flavor. Even the dress, we wear the different kinds of clothes, dress, all becomes, we feel the joy of wearing. We feel the smooth, even though the cloth is rough, but when we wear, we really feel the smoothness of the cloth. So this is the benefit. We become, our practice of giving is also enhanced. We wanted to get rid of the causes for taking the birth as a hungry ghost. So by this, going through this kind of meditation, it helps in one's day-to-day life. Right? Sometimes we talk about, giving, and also we talk about, we talk about, contentment. We talk about contentment. But how do we develop contentment? How do we develop contentment? Right. Buddhist teaching also talks about the mind transformation. Sometimes we say when we are sick, we compare the other situation more, pathetic situation, more pathetic than yourself. Then we learn that we enjoy the life. So there are, many, the kind of meditations which really, which at the very, on the surface, it look like something unpleasant, uncomfortable. But if you look closely, deep down, practice yourself, then we will enjoy a lot. There are plenty of things to enjoy in life. And then the animal, when we think about the suffering of animal, how do we think about suffering of animal? Right? Visualize ourselves as animal. Visualize ourselves as animal. Then I do believe each individual has infinite power, tremendous power. Sometimes we say, oh, I don't understand the Dharma. Dharma is difficult, that teaching is difficult, that teaching does not, fit for me. From that onwards, we come to learn that we never talk about this. We learn that we have infinite potential for transformation. Whether we practice it or not, it's a difficult, it's a difficult matter. But just understanding, thinking about the suffering of the animal gives you a tremendous hope that if we make an effort, spiritual practice, the spiritual attainments, the real happiness is not something far away, it's right inside in our palm of the hand. These kind of qualities we have, but we sometimes don't realize. We have tremendous amount of potential You have tremendous amount of potential, you know. So in this, meditation on this, really it gives a sense of encouraging, sense of inspiring rather than discouraging. There's no sense of discouraging. When we think about the suffering of the lower limb and think about the impermanence of death, no, what we think that this will give unpleasant is, in the beginning it may look so, but if you do practice, if you try to look from the holistic angle, 4 angle, 8 angle, we will learn that these are inspiring meditation, the encouraging meditation. It gives us hope. It gives us the infinite hope, infinite qualities. Right? Then, now after, identify all this, what after the final conclusion is, after you identify what are the 8, what are the 8, leisures, 10 endowments, you come to believe, you come to understand that I have to do something which bring me happiness in the short term as well as in the long term, in the long run. We come to understand, we come to the conclusion. This is the solution that I have to do, the kind of Dharma practice, a kind of Dharma practice which give me all the solution to my all the challenges and problem, which helps me develop happiness. Right. Now, after that, now we think about the difficult, we think about and meditate. We meditate. We meditate on the valuable of this particular human life, special human life, special human birth. We think about meditate on the, high valuable of this special human birth. Now you see, what we want to achieve, what we want to achieve. We want to achieve let me say, we want to buy the house, we want to buy the house, we want to enjoy the food. What we can do, we can buy the house, enjoy the food, and we can, we order the dress. Can the animal do? Animal cannot do. So even say, we can also become rich, right? Can animal become rich? No. Just those, short-term, benefits, like, becoming rich, and then enjoying the, the delicious, all these things, only human being can do. So these are temporary. Now the long lasting is, I can receive the bodhisattva vow. I can receive the, layperson vow or monastic vow. I can, receive the tantric vow. Can other animal can do? Hungry ghost can do? Hell being can do? No. Only human being can do. We can achieve liberation. We can achieve Buddhahood. Again, only human, this precious human life can do. No other the beings can do. All these, good qualities the achievement of liberation, the achievement of enlightenment, all the temporary, kind of wishes are able to do on this special human birth. Once we think about this, once we meditate on this, then we come to understand the conclusion is that I have all the potential to do. I have all the potential. There's no such thing difficult. There's no such thing difficult. The only thing is that whether we make the effort or not. So it give, you will come to realize I have all the potential. What kind of potential? Because I have all the external condition, internal condition to practice all the Dharma that you want to practice. I can achieve the highest form of enlightenment, the long-lasting happiness, all the temporary happiness and long-lasting happiness I can do, because I have all the conditions. I have external conditions, because external conditions, I meet with all the great Dharma masters, Dharma, teachers. And the internal condition is because I have 8 relations and 10 endowments. So I can do. It's highly valuable. Now, the third one is the rarity, the difficulty of obtaining the precious human birth. This special human birth is extremely difficult. Now, it's extremely difficult. It's extremely difficult from the example, from the cause, from the resultant, from the nature. Viewing from this angle, again, we learn that it is extremely, extremely difficult. We would say obtaining the precious, obtaining this special birth is more difficult than wish fulfilling jewel. It is more difficult than what's that? It's more difficult than there's one flower. Okay, there's one flower. The name Waremeto. Udum Waremeto. This flower is only can be found during the Buddha's time. When the Buddha was born, this flower comes. When the Buddha died, when the Buddha passed away, this flower diminished. This flower is extremely difficult. The smell gives the most fragrant smell. And then there is a one called, I don't know if you have heard this. There's a one object called Giwang. Okay, Giwang. This Giwang object, somebody who has been Bodhisattva for 7 lifetimes, someone who has been ordained monk for 7 lifetimes, from their body, this object comes. Okay, this is sometimes white in color, sometimes blue in color, right? This object is, very small. Sometimes, if you can see the check, if you put this object on a, on a nail, it can go around. It is round shape, sometimes it's triangle shape. what happens is this object, when you eat this, it purify the negative karma to go into the lower limb. Just by purifying, all the sickness is gone. All the sickness is gone. You are able to keep the youthful, the lustrous, no wrinkles, no gray hair. To some extent, you are also able to, levitate or, the fly. But that is very, very difficult. You see, I'm talking about somebody who has been bodhisattva for 7 lifetimes, who has been, become monk for 7 lifetimes. Not 1 lifetime, 2 lifetimes, 7 lifetimes. And that person should have, should have got, observe the, vows, bodhisattva vows, and tantric vows. So this is what is called as givang object, givang pills. Very difficult. I am here, we are talking about the precious human birth, special human birth, which is more difficult than this givang object, givang pill. And then we have, wish granting, wish fulfilling, jewel. We may ask, what's that? What's the wish fulfilling, jewel? Wish fulfilling jewel is, there's some, beautiful story. In the very ancient time, during very ancient time, many, eons ago, there's a, there's some kind of bird, birds, Garuda birds, big, big wings. The birds with very big wings and, big, very strong beak. There are plenty of Garudas, on one island. In the one island, there are these, Garudas birds. So the birds, these birds, usually they eat the, the snake. The birds eat the snake. So one time there's a one, the king of the Garuda, the king of the bird called Garuda, Garuda bird, the king. So one time he went to the, the lake or pond. He went to the lake and pond and he eat few snakes, black snake. Right. He eat the snake, black snake. This snake, poisonous snake. So the Garuda, Garuda, he was, in pain. The Garuda's, stomach was in pain because of the pain is too intense, very too, the pain, really intense pain. So what happened is, the Garuda's heart, burst, the chest open and the heart come out. The heart come out and fall into the river. They fall into the lake. After 100 years, what happened is this. Now in the lake, there are some nagas live in the lake. Some nagas live. So naga, they maintain the cleanliness. They do not want their, the pond, lake to get polluted, because the Garuda also fell into the river, the island. The Garuda fell into the island river, and the heart also fell into the island river. So what they do is these nagas, take out the body outside, and then they keep the heart for 100 years. After 100 years, this heart transforms into the wish-granting tree, wish-granting jewel. Right. So this wish-granting tree, they now put into the king of the Naga, right? The king of the Naga, he put the heart, which transform into the wish-fulfilling jewel. So he put the wish fulfilling jewel on his crown, because now this is the main source of treasure of the Nagas. So right. So therefore, if you look into the Naga, if you go into the Naga land to get this, wish fulfilling jewel, there is no way, because the Nagas island inside, there is some kind of place, which is filled with all the treasures, all the priceless, jewelry, ornaments, the precious stones, and then on the inside the palace, Naga palace, they all the snake. The snake guard the gate. Guard the gate. You cannot get inside. One cannot get inside into the Naga's place to have this precious wish fulfilling jewel. Because wish fulfilling jewel, if you pray, whatever you get, whatever you want, you will get it. Right. So that this precious human birth, special human birth is even more difficult than wish granting tree. More difficult than obtaining the wish fulfilling jewel. It is extremely, extremely difficult. This, to get the wish special human birth, more precious than obtaining the wish fulfilling jewel, Givang object, right? And then it is more difficult. We say it's more difficult than star in the daytime, or star in the daytime, and also the flower, wari meta flower, udum wari meta flower. So this now after meditate, we meditate on the rarity, the difficulty in finding this special human birth. We get the conclusion. We come to understand. We get the conclusion that I have to practice Dharma in this life. I have to practice the Dharma which brings me happiness, temporary and in the long run. Right. So this is meditation on the, this is meditation on the difficulty of obtaining such a precious human birth. Now what to do? Now, right. You identify the precious, identify what are the, what are the 8 freedoms and 10 endowments. We meditate. Then after that, we try to meditate on the high valuability of the special human birth. I'm not talking about human birth. I'm talking about the special human birth. Special human birth means a kind of human birth which is complete with 8 lashes and 10 freedom, 10 endowments. This human birth I'm talking about here. Sometimes, one of, somebody told me, the Lumbing teaches about, the Buddhism teaches about the preciousness of the human birth. There is no preciousness of human birth. We have the population crisis. Somebody told me. Right. So that's why we, if we are talking just about the human birth, that's okay. That's right. But we are not talking about just human birth. We are talking about the precious human birth, which is complete with 8 lashes and 10 endowments. That is very, very difficult to find. Very extremely difficult to find. This is one is we are talking about. Of course, human birth is very difficult, but more difficult more difficult, the greater difficult is the kind of human birth which is complete with 8 pleasures and 10 endowments. This is extremely difficult. Right. Then with, after that, high valuability of the precious human birth and the rarity, the difficulty, such a, tremendous difficulty of obtaining this special human birth. Right. Now, after meditate on this, what to do? You don't have to do anything. When we when we have done the meditation well, what should be done next? Your feeling will tell. You don't have to ask somebody what I have to do. Your feeling will tell something. What kind of feeling will tell what to do next is the meditation on the impermanence of death. That is now, because now this human birth, this special human birth is extremely difficult, highly valuable, extremely difficult to obtain. And something which is extremely difficult to obtain is very easy to go by. It is lost. We have all the treasure. We have the treasure within us, and it can be lost right tomorrow, right tonight. Who knows? Therefore, meditation on impermanence of death comes. Can come tomorrow. So therefore, in order to develop the conviction, that how this precious human life that I have, this special human birth that I have, can lose any moment of time without giving any warning from anybody. You can go today, tomorrow. Who knows? Who knows we will live in the next year, 10 years. Again, as I said, don't think that meditation on the impermanence of death, we may think, why I have to meditate on the death? I want to live a long life. Of course, we live a long life, definitely. Nobody dispute. Who's dispute? Nobody dispute. We have the right to live a long life. We have the total authority. We have the right to lead a healthy life. We need to take care of our health. Nobody dispute. But that does not mean we don't meditate on impermanence of death. Impermanence of death is highly necessary. Highly necessary. It gives you a lot of good qualities in the long run. In the long run, it gives you the good quality. Temporarily, it makes your life easy. By meditating on the impermanence of death, our life becomes much easier than more difficult. Sometimes, if we don't think, sometimes our life gets more difficult. If we think, our life becomes more easier, more simple, more flexible. we really need to understand all these things. Thinking that, meditation on impermanence of death, I don't want to hear that, all this. But if you have, there are more benefits. If you think, more benefits, really more benefits. So then, there are, now when we think about meditation on the impermanence of death, now we have, three, the death is certain, the unpredictability of the death, and at the point of death, nothing helps. Only the Dharma practice, only what we have done, something good thing in this life will help. In the first, the so-called death is certain. That is certain because when the death comes, external condition will not help, internal condition will not help. whatever you have the fixed lifespan. You cannot increase your lifespan. You have the fixed lifespan. You cannot increase the lifespan. And the life keep on slipping by. The lifespan, the the uh, the hours going, the minute going, the millisecond going, the second going, the second day passes, the minute passes, the hour passes, the day passes, the weeks passes, right? The month passes, the years passes, the decades passes, the century of this passes. That shows the life goes on. The life is going. It is not getting, one's lifespan is not getting longer and longer. It's getting shorter and shorter. The external condition and internal condition cannot, stop that. And then we have to, we may have to die without having to practice anything. Who guarantee that the young will live long, the old will, the go soon, or the patient will die, go soon, earlier than those physicians. So there is no guarantee, Then the unpredictability of the death. Unpredictable death is now there are many, the lifespan of the human, the lifespan of this continent, of this world is unfortunate, is unpredictable, and especially the lifespan of the beings of the degenerate age are greater, unpredictable. And then the number two is because of the there are many causes of the death, and the less causes of survival. I'm not going to go into these things detail. I will discuss when we as we come with this particular topic. I will discuss more. I'm not going to do. We have no time, enough time. And then we have the fragility of the body. This also proves that unpredictability of the death. This is number two. Number three is at the point of death, even if we have to leave behind our body, why not? You have to leave all the the companions, the best companions, the friends, relatives, loved ones. We have to leave behind, and then of course there's resources. No matter how much resources we have, everything has to leave behind. Even the body that we cherish so much, that we care so much. Of course, we need to care while we are alive. But at the point of death, even this body, we have to leave behind. So this proves that only while we are alive, what we have done good, we have made the purification, we have created the merit, we have done enough Dharma practice. This will determine. So this is all about the, meditation on the impermanent of the death, right? And then when we think about the first one, it gives you the confidence. When you think about the first one, that I have to die, it gives you the confidence that I have to do the Dharma practice. When we think about the unpredictability of the death, it gives you the confidence that I have to do it now, not delayed. Should I do the Dharma practice until I get retired, until I get old? No, you have to do right now, because life is unpredictable. This one. Then it gives you confidence that I have to do it now, not delayed, not postpone. And then when they think about the, the third one, which nothing will be of any help at the point of death, then we come to, it gives you confidence that I have to really do the Dharma practice seriously and sincerely. So this is what need to meditate. While meditating on the impermanence of the death, then after that, right now, what happened? I meditated on the impermanent of impermanent of the death. Sooner or later, we have to die, right? We have to go. Even though we want to remain forever in this earth, in this world, we don't want to die. I want to remain forever. Similarly for everybody. If that is the case, at the point of death, we have to go. Then when we go, what happens? It's not something that we vanish, we disappear into the air. It's not something we have to take the birth. There are two kinds of birth: favorable birth and unfavorable birth. If we were to take an unfavorable birth, what happened? Then, as I said, we go to lower limb. When we go to lower limb, if we do not want even the pain, suffering, challenges, even for 1 minute, how can we bear the pain and suffering of the those lower limb, which are more intense, more long lasting than what we do experience here while we are alive on this earth? So then, if we do not endure this the pain, even the 5 minutes pain, how can we endure the pain of those lower limb, the suffering of the lower limb? So therefore, when we think about this, the meditation on the suffering of the lower limb, also it then, it help us. Now I have to do something. Who will protect me? Who is there to protect me when I'm going through suffering? The suffering of the lower limb. We have all the potential. We have all the maybe some karma to take the birth. But who will protect me? The reliable protector, the reliable protector. The reliable protector. We need to search who is the reliable protector. Then we come to understand that the three jewels, because fearing the unbearable of the suffering of the lower limb, then we want to get freed from this suffering, the pain and suffering. As we try to see who has the potential, who has the power to save me, protect me, free me from these challenges, the suffering, you will come to understand that the ultimate protector is indeed three jewels. The three jewels are the long-lasting protector, ultimate protector. So therefore, we take the refuge in the three jewels. We take the refuge. We entrust in the three jewels. Help me to protect from all these challenges. Right? So the three jewels. So therefore, taking a refuge in the three jewels come as a topic. The next one, after the meditation on the impermanence of the suffering of the lower limb. It is only the three jewel who will help you, right? Or if we include the guru also, we can include the guru. No, that's why Namo Gurubhaya, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya makes a sense when we read in every prayer, right? Now we take the refuge in the three jewels. From the depth of your heart, my heart. Oh, you are my protector. Please be my protector. Please be my savior. Please help me save from the suffering of the lower limbs and suffering of the ocean of samsara. We take that refuge in the three jewels. Now, is it enough? Is it enough? No. We are diagnosed, say example, we are diagnosed with some disease, some illness. We go to the doctor. The doctors say, you have to do this, you have to don't do this, do this. If you want to get recovered from the the illness, we have to follow the doctor. The doctor's prescription, the doctor's instruction. Similarly, now The Buddha has given the teaching. Buddha has given all on the part of the Buddha what he can do. What he can do is he give you the teaching. He can give you the teaching. He give you the method how to save yourself, how to save ourselves from the suffering of the samsara and suffering of the lower limb. On his part, the best responsibility that he can do is he gives you the teaching. He gives you the method. He gives you the medicine. He gives us the medicine. Now, whether we eat this medicine, whether we consume this medicine or not, it depends on us. So therefore, now Buddha say, you don't want to go to the lower limb? Yes. What method should I employ? Should I use? Buddha then taught the law of karma. The law of karma. Buddha taught the law of karma. This understanding, observing, practicing the law of karma is the method that save us falling into the lower realm next life. Therefore, the last topic is practicing the law of karma. If you practice law of karma, then somebody try to push you into the law of karma. You are not going to lower realm. Somebody can harm us, right? Somebody can harm us. Somebody can physically harm us. Through. But then this harming can make us go through lower limb? No. What make us go through lower limb is the negative karma that we have created. And if we don't purify it, and if we don't purify those negative karma and the negative karma that we have newly created, this will make us go into lower limb. So therefore, purify the negative karma and practice and observe the law of karma, refraining from killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, right? Telling lies, refraining from gossiping, refraining from telling lies, refraining from gossiping, refraining from creating disharmony, refraining from using the harsh words, unpleasant words, and then refraining from the, wanting others, think, harmful intention, and wrong view. If we do this, we are not going to lower level. Nobody can send you. Nobody can send us. Nobody has the potential to send us to go into the lower limb. Who will do? Nobody. Therefore, finally, it is in our hand, whether we go to lower limb or whether we go to the pure land. Everything is in our hand. So now what's the time? Okay, now I think, yeah, we crossed the time. So this is the, the brief review about what we have discussed, long, since few months ago, right? So then, next time, then we go through the other teaching, Okay, that's it then. If you have some question, you can ask. Otherwise, it look like no question. Okay, then we do, some dedication prayer. I do dedication. Yawadi, da Namasanja Lugane, Rawaji Yamale Bati, Sala Gawarishu. Chajusin bi Rinpoche, Magyabana Jigyu, Yawanya, Mabaya Kondo Kondo, Pavasho, Yanta Tawa Rinpoche, Magyabana Jigyu, Yawanya, Mabaya Kondo Kondo, Pavasho, Mezavita Injerese, Timiki Rinpoche, Pajaki, Sugi, Losan Tabi, Shabla, so the. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you everyone. Nice to see you. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Xin chào anh thầy.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Casey, so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, say.
You're welcome. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Gashi.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Cảm ơn
Cảm ơn ban tổ chức ạ.
Cảm ơn ban tổ chức.
You are so kind to us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Dạ, cảm ơn chị Trang nhiều. Cảm ơn ban tổ chức.
Thank you, thank you ban tổ chức. Thank you everybody.
Dạ mọi người, dạ cảm ơn mọi người ạ.
Cảm ơn.
Xin
Dạ,
nhắc
cảm
mọi
ơn chị
người
Trang.
xíu là tại cái sách giải thoát trong lòng bàn tay của mình tiếng Việt là nó có 2 tập lận à. Thì nó có tập 1 và tập 2 đó, cho nên là mọi người nhớ tải cả 2 tập về nha.